Again, it's not Sunday, it's Saturday. Why are you even on here? It's Saturday. Go enjoy yourself. You don't have to be a part of this. You don't have to watch this. It's okay. But you're here. I love your faces because of that. 25 seconds left. Welcome, all of you lovely faces. It is Saturday, not Sunday, because I'm pretty sure this is going to continually happen on Sundays or on Saturdays at 7 p.m. now, because I'm always flying on Sundays. You know what I need to do? Hold on. Let's see here. I got so many people. Strunky, what's up? Mom, what's poppin'? Johnny, what's poppin'? Carmen Quattro, what is poppin'? Crispy Clean Auto Spa is on here today. Yeah. Okay. Waved at all you lovely fools. And man, I already got questions. You guys need to calm down. Hold on. I haven't even got the Fluffernutter, and I have things to talk to you guys about. So, this is going to be so much fun. I almost killed myself, actually, starting... Oh, well, by the way, welcome to Fluffernutter Live, episode 10. You guys, we're 10 in. We're 10 episodes in. That's crazy. Do we call these episodes? I don't know. We're going to do what we want, right? Okay, cool. Let me make this. So, how I almost killed myself starting this episode today is I typically what I do, I have like a checklist that I do before I start this thing. Because I really want to make sure I'm prepared for you guys. This should be set up for you, right? Perfect. So, went through my checklist, right? Part of that checklist is getting the Fluffernutter materials. Gotta get the knife, gotta get the plate, the bread, and of course, the fluff and the nutter, right? Okay, got the bread. And it was green on top. And I almost didn't notice that until the last minute. There was mold growing on top of my bread, which might be the reason why I got sick like 2 days ago, like food sick. It was kind of bad. It was kind of weird because I also had a sandwich like last night and I didn't feel anything, so maybe I'm growing immune. That coronavirus life, right? Okay, you're pointed down too much. You guys need to calm down. That's rude. Eyes up here, guys. Okay, let's start this shit. There's a couple things I need to talk to you guys about. And anybody that's on here for the Blue Line Aviation type stuff, I promise, I'm going to talk about what happened this past week with me. What have you guys been talking about? Hold on, because you guys have some things to say. Okay, waved at a bunch of people. How many hours do I have logged so far? I don't know. Hold on. I'm checking. Calm down. You just wait. I know I'm not there. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Logbook. Logbook. Because I'm official. I'm a real boy. That's a lot of math that I don't understand yet. I don't know. I think I'm around 10 flight hours. And maybe like 5 sim hours at this point, I think. I don't know. I might have that wrong. Because yesterday we flew for 4 hours. And so that was a thing. So I'm flying a lot. What was the other thing? Just here to say hi, and then I have to run. Okay, bye, Carmen. Rude ass. Come up and show up. Okay. How'd the first week of training go? Oh, I'll go over that too. I'll briefly when I talk about that part. So, what do I have on here? I'm going to talk something about space related. So you're going to see me. You're going to see me. You guys need to stop yelling water at me. I have the water. It's on my checklist. Here it is. Got it. Not sponsored. God, I can't. Where can I turn it? There. Boom. Or I could just put it out of frame. I have the water. Calm down. So, for any of you guys that aren't into space stuff, right, there's this huge space race going on between SpaceX and Boeing, who are both trying to put people into space from United States soil for the first time since 2011. Because the last mission was STS-135 with the space shuttle. That's how long ago it was. 2011 was the last time U.S. was able to put humans into space. That's ridiculous, right? So, NASA comes out with this thing, says, hey, I want all the commercial people out there that do space stuff, to race and see who can come up and meet all of our standards and be able to launch people. Just throw them into the sky as far as you possibly can until they catch orbit, right? Sounds cool. Okay, so that race has begun. It started very close to finishing, and actually this year, SpaceX will be launching humans into space fairly soon, like potentially March, right? Big deal. SpaceX has been phenomenal. Boeing did their launch, right? Their test launch that they did. No humans were inside the capsule. And it supposedly went fantastic. But no. They're now just starting to discover that Boeing was kind of like hiding a couple things. And now they're kind of coming out with it saying like, hey, like we probably should have done more testing. Things didn't go well. That whole deal. So, yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, okay, so, yeah. So, Boeing not only has this 7... Dude, that is... I think I'm putting too much on there. That's a lot of fluff, man. This is nuts. I need to eat dinner after this. I need to calm down. Okay. So, that's going on. And Boeing is, like, really... They're, like, really kicking themselves in the balls, man. Like, Boeing is huge. They know rockets. They're good at them. And for whatever reason, I guess SpaceX is putting a fire under their ass where they're not able to... Not only can they keep up with SpaceX, SpaceX is faster with making stuff, testing stuff, and they're more thorough in their testing. And then Boeing is just like... Ugh. It's so sad, man. But the cool thing I like about the space world compared to all other industries is that people don't get... They're not divisive. Like, there isn't like this... Like, they're there, but it's not like sports, where, like, Patriot fans will fight, like, Bronco fans over who won what kind of thing. In the space industry, it's kind of cool. Everybody comes together, and when Boeing fails or slips up, people kind of get upset. They're like, that sucks, because, like, they know competition thrives in the space industry. So, that's kind of shitty. So, on the rant. You see that? No? Okay. Oh, you guys are talking. I'm sorry. You might still get your cleavage. Nah. Instagram's gonna take this down. Be like one of those dark TikToks. Took you like 4 months to get 18 hours. 14 months, or 4 months to get 18 hours. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Everyone's always thinking of the Peloton. Yep. Well, I was gonna talk about drone regulations. Dude, this is really messy. I really put too much on here. Anyways, just to briefly bring it up, because I think it's interesting. A friend of mine who's really big into photography and videography, his name is CJ Mirror, has the mirror image, right? Sent me an article about how there's this new regulation where drones are going to have this ID. And essentially when you fly, no matter where you are, anybody will be able to know who the operator is, where that operator is at that time, and be able to get all the kind of information. And it's like true ID or real ID, I forget what it's called. So if I fly my drone up, and you're a random Joe Schmo, and you're out in your house, and you're not happy with what you're seeing, you can literally get out on your phone and ID my thing, and be able to know where my drone is, that whole deal, right? So there's pros and cons to this concept. Why would I use a napkin? That's an extra thing I have to add to my checklist to clean everything up. No, not a chance. And then the napkin's going to get some of that Fluffernutter? Not happening. No, it's all for me. I don't know where I stand on that, the whole drone concept. Because I also, now that I'm flying, I kind of understand. Like, I'm having a true grasp. Like, there are drone calls constantly when we're flying at RDU. So when we fly in and out, like, you'll hear there's something called NOTAMs. And essentially it's these things that they put out there of like, hey, you're going to want to know about these kind of things. Whether there's a plane on fire in the middle of a runway, or something's closed, or a light is out, that whole deal. Drone NOTAMs are a thing. And it's all constantly like, hey, some fuckface is... God, I'm cussing. Some guy is out there with a drone, and he's flying in our airspace. and it's crazy. And if you understand how systematic it has to be up there for things to stay safe, there's a side of you that's like, they really need to make these guys put on regulations. But if you're like low government and you don't want that shit, I don't know, it's a weird happy medium. Maybe there's a height limit, like after a certain amount of feet, they have to register and do certain things or something. I don't know. Ugh. How are you? How are you guys? How are you guys? Tell me, you want to enjoy this piece? Because I've already been talking too much. Oh, and I forgot to hit record on my audio. I don't care. Audio's going to suck for this one. And if you watches this on YouTube or Facebook. Actually, while you guys are conjuring up your things about how you're going to tell me how you are, because I give a damn, okay? I care about how you are. I was going to talk about this ATP versus Blue Line video. Still very positive. To this day, I've only gotten one person that has said that that got information wrong in there, and that's about it. Yeah, it's been pretty positive. But I still don't... There's a side of me that's kind of mad that I made it. To an extent. It's hard to explain. I'm glad I made it, because a lot of people have found it really helpful. But I have anxiety with that video, because I'm not the type of person that likes to lean one side or the other, and I usually don't like to advertise that. That's why I usually don't talk about politics on my vlogs or anything like that. I don't like being a divisive person. In that video, I tried to make as neutral as possible. I really did. Without having any kind of bias into it, which that was hard to do when it was just clearly, in that video, it clearly states like that I lean towards Blue Line, and I tried to make that as neutral as possible. It's hard, man. And so I'm just sitting here like waiting for people to throw hate at me, and like I have thick skin for a lot of things. I just don't want to have to like constantly worry about it. So I probably won't make comparison videos like that in the future. I just don't like it. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of developing an opinion on it. It's the first video I've posted that's controversial, per se. To go against the big dog in an industry, like, you're asking for problems. So, and I have people ask me all the time about, like, aren't you worried that, like, now that you're going through flight school, all these people graduating from ATP at some point may see your video. Let's say they're students of ATP. They graduate ATP. They become a part of the hiring process for, let's say, an airline or a corporation that I want to work for. And they saw my video. And they're like, oh, you're that guy that made that video. And I'm not worried about it. I don't know why. Because I think the video was fair. I wasn't being weird or abnormal. And if anything, it shows my thorough research into stuff. So, but I don't know. Anxiety, man. It's a thing. Oh, my weekly videos? Okay, so any of you guys that watch this that are curious about my actual high-end production edited videos for weekly Blue Line videos. So I'm changing those up a bit. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to post week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I think I'm going to post per rating. So there's going to be a video about Blue Line's private, Blue Line IFR, Blue Line commercial. And so that'll divide it. Instead of 22 videos, it'll be down to like 9 videos. So, still wondering about that. It's just right now it's repetitive. I'm filming. It's just, I'm running out of things. It's a repetitive process. It's not to make it sound monotonous. It's just, it's kind of the same thing constantly. It's like, okay, going in, flying, landing, coming back, going to the training center, studying, going home, working out, sleep, restart. And it's the same thing, and I don't know how to make that interesting. Like, I'm trying to figure it out, but I just don't know how I'm going to do it. Where if I segment it into ratings, where private's like 5 weeks long, and IFR is like an X amount of weeks long, I can just make the videos more interesting, you know? So we'll see. I don't know. I think I'm going to lean that way. And it makes less videos that I have to edit, which makes way better for me. And my audio sucks. I have audio where you can hear ATC talking, you can hear me talking, and my instructor talking. Although in the videos you won't hear my instructor talking because I told him I wouldn't do that. He doesn't have to worry about. He's instructor X in my series. So yeah. Slacking on your live vlogs. What do you mean my live vlogs? How am I slacking? Because they're not on Sundays? What do you mean? Johnny, you need to explain yourself on that. I don't know what I mean by that. What's your favorite plane right now? I don't know, man. I don't have time to thought about that. If we're comparing Blue Line's fleet, their DA-42, which I can show you a picture. Hold on. Because I have this thing. If it was just a plane in general, usually people, when this debate comes up about what's your favorite plane, it's not like the car world. It's not like a situation where it's like, hey, like, what's your favorite car? And there's like all these different kind of things, right? Like, you can, like, maybe it is the same, and I just never thought of it that way. Because in the aircraft world, it's like, all right, what's your favorite fighter? What's your favorite heavy, right? And, like, all these different kinds of aircraft. Favorite fighter? F-22. Straight out gates, F-22 is still, like, one of my favorite airframes that I've seen. I've seen the F-22 and the F-35 in person and next to each other, and the F-22 was amazeballs. Heavy-wise, I'm a huge fan of the C-17 Globemaster. It's a beautiful aircraft, and I kind of wish I maintained it. But if it was specific to, because see, now we can get into like general aviation aircraft, which is the small aircraft you see flying around doing different stuff, right? Like private owners have it. So Blue Line has something called the DA-42, and I'm hoping there we go. You can kind of see that guy there. Yeah, that. It's so sexy. And actually, what's going to end up happening, there's the Top Gun Maverick picture, which I don't have on here. There's a poster of Maverick sitting on a P-51 Mustang, looking out to the sky, and he's like inside a hangar, looking out to the sky, and there's 2 fighter jets flying by. Blue Line's going to let me remake that poster, but instead I'm going to be sitting on the DA-42, and I'm going to be looking up, and I'm going to see 2, like, Blue Line's planes flying by, and the Blue Line logo will be there. Oh, it's going to be so cool. I'm so pumped about that. So yeah. But, okay, so, who was it that asked that? Oh, it was Chris McLean-Otto, about what's my favorite plane right now. Now, like, plane-wise that I want to buy, there's something called I hate the name of it. It's kind of annoying, but it's called a Beechcraft Bonanza. And it's an aircraft that I want. It's like this general all-around, like, really awesome practical aircraft. And so, like, if you want to own an airplane, to be able to travel far distances, carry more people, and I don't know, when you see it, like, to the average person, it's just like, who's not in the aviation industry, it's just like another plane. I'm pulling it up, so calm down. So, that's the plane. So if I ever buy a plane, that's what I'm probably going to look at buying. Because it's amazing. So, yeah. So, yep. That's a thing. How's the flying going? Are you comfortable with it yet? I'm actually going to get to that. Oh, man. My flying. Okay. Strunky's back. Welcome back. I'm glad you left and came back. What a tease. Strunky's a tease. It's going to be sick. Yeah, it is. I've been struggling to decide between ATP or other flight schools. It's supposed to be a struggle. I'm telling you right now, it's not easy. So, what else was I going to tell you guys? Alright, let me explain how week 2's been at flight school. So week 2's been kind of really weird, because in my big video, in the ATP versus Blue Line video, I emphasized that cancellations are few and far between. There is just abnormal shit going on right now. Now, oddly, this is what's really cool. Blue Line has their scheduling down, packed, okay? 3 flights have been canceled this week. And they still were able to keep me on time. That's crazy. To organize, okay, for example, all the private people. How do I explain this? Okay, Blue Line has 3 airframes, okay? They have the DA-20, which is a 2-seater. And that's where most, like, private pilots like me have to fly. So we fly in the smaller plane at first. So, Bobby, Chris McLean-Otto spot, when you stated on my stories and I posted a picture of it and you're like, that thing? You're flying that thing? It's so small. Yeah, it is. It's really small. And I think they purposely do that because, one, those planes aren't allowed to fly in, like, blind spaces. They can't fly in clouds or bad weather with that aircraft. So it kind of, like, gets you a really good foundation for flying. Then you can upgrade eventually to the DA-40, right? Which is a 4-seater aircraft, more spacious, has air conditioning, the DA-20 has air conditioning too, but it's just air that blows in, whereas the DA-40 is like actual air conditioning. And the DA-42 is that plane I just showed you. So it's the 4-seater, and it's got 2 engines, so it's like fast, like really fast. And I'm going to fly that at the very end of everything. So pumped about that plane. Can't wait. But it also scares the shit out of me. So, what else here? So, I've only been flying the DA-20. I'm only into 2-seater. So they're having to organize all these students because the scheduling's having to be revamped. Because it's not just my flight being canceled. It's multiple people's flights are being canceled that day. and they're able to keep everybody on time. Like, it's pretty on point what Blue Line's doing right now. And my instructor has me and another student who are in the same stage. So him and his name is Matthew. I can't ever say his last name because it's long. Morrissey, I think it is. You might see him sometimes on here. And actually, I think he has one of the questions today too. And he's working with us. So like, it's just crazy, man. They got scheduling down pat. We always fly at Blue Line. We always fly out of Raleigh-Durham, which is when you're just learning how to fly and you're flying out of Class Charlie airspace. And for any of you guys that don't understand that, essentially the way they have it, there's Class A airspace, which is like high up, right? That's where jets are and everything. Class Bravo airspace is like Charlotte or LAX or something like that, or Denver. And then you get these like busy airports, but they're not like as busy as LAX. And those are Class Charlie airspace. But they're still complex. And once again, there's been talks about Raleigh, how it should be a Class Bravo airspace. But anyways, it's Class Charlie, so there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of talking to Tower and ATC. It's crazy, man. So, but luckily, radios aren't a problem for me. I mean, it is. I'm not great at it, but I'm definitely ahead of the curve on that aspect. So yeah. So you're flying out of RDU, and we go to a local airport called JNX, which is where Blue Line's actually moving. So it's Johnson County Regional, and it's a little airport. It's like a 5,000-foot runway, and we get to practice touch and goes and landings there, and I have to worry about radio. I mean, we still talk to the pilots around us, but we don't have to talk to Tower or have to get permission to do things. We get to just practice all the time. So it's great. And in between there, that's where we do maneuvers. So yeah. So far, what I've been mostly learning is, obviously, taking off and landing was pretty quick. Actually, you learned that like the first flight. Like, you're like, it was crazy. Because, no, I'm not kidding you. The first flight, I did not watch my instructor fly. He literally was like, do you want to try? And I was like, sure. And I literally my first flight took off and landed. I didn't even see my instructor fly until the third flight. And I'll explain why that happened, because it's actually kind of a funny story. So I've been flying the whole time. Like, it's crazy, man. They really immerse you into it really quick. So, and actually, I'll just tell you now. Okay, so your boy has a bladder problem, it seems, because for the life of me, I've done 4 flights so far. Each flight ranging anywhere between 3 to 4 hours. Actually, 2.5 to 3 hours. Yeah, 2.5 to 3 hours. So, we would take off, we'd go, we'd do things. Okay, so the first time, I don't remember what we were practicing stalls, which is this thing where you fly, right, and you're feeling the G's of it, and what you do is there's 2 versions, right? There's a power off stall, which is where you slow down drastically, and then you just point the nose up, and you're waiting for the aircraft to essentially lose its lift capability, and it just drops, right? That's what happens. The intention here is we learn how to avoid that. You still experience the G-force of when you point down. And anyways, we're practicing that, and I'm like, I just had to. I was like, I talked to my instructor and was like, dude, I gotta pee, man. We gotta go. And we were like midway through our flight. He was like, all right, yeah, no problem. And so he took over. He's like, I have flight controls. I gave it to him. And he took us to Johnson County so fast. Like, it was so crazy. And it was really cool watching him fly, because this dude has 1,200 hours under his belt. He knows this plane through and through, and he did what they call a high energy emergency approach in landing. I think I might be saying that wrong. Anyways, it's where it's crazy. You have to he lifts the plane up to bleed the air off, right? So he's flying, bleed the air off. Then you can bring these flaps down so they don't break off from going too fast. And then he goes again, does it one more time, bleeds off, brings flaps down again, and then he just comes in so fast and lands there. And it was crazy. All because I had to pee. And I'm telling you, high energy landing, when you have to pee, sucks. Because you're just like, oh God, and you're just moving. Oh man, it was horrible. So, and I'm glad he did it, because honestly, I'd prefer him to go faster than go slow and just go through the normal process. So, and then it happened again yesterday. But he didn't do high energy landing. He made me fly this time. So I have to pee. And I have to do all the stuff that you're supposed to do before you're landing. For any of you guys who don't know, that is so many things to do. There is literally, as you're approaching, you're supposed to call, I'm not peeing in a bottle. Not happening. Because he's right there. There's no, like, in some aircraft, right, it's like, hey, just look away. No, he doesn't have that ability. He would have to be looking. He would see everything in his peripheral. It's just not possible in the DA-20. I even looked up catheters for this situation. But I've just decided to not hydrate at all before a flight. So we'll see what happens. But we had to do it again. And we had to land, and it's painful. So I'm trying to figure that out. It's my weakness, and I'm abnormal because these flights, once again, only last 2.5 to 3 hours. You'd think I'd have it figured out. The last flight, I didn't hydrate for 3 hours, and still, I don't know. Hold on, let me catch up with what you guys are saying. Let's see. I've been struggling to... Oh, yeah, we said that. We'll hurry up. Have you started studying plane performance, weight and balance stuff yet? We studied that in the very, very beginning. Because in the first week, we did, like, 3 or 4 physical ground classes and learned about, like, weight and balance and stuff like that. So, yeah, that occurs before anything. So that'll happen first week. Yeah, I felt that. There's benefits of learning how to talk to ATC. It's great, though. I'm a few lessons from soloing and haven't talked to approach once yet. I've just been making an announce on frequency. Yeah, so I'm actually really happy that I'm in Class Charlie Airspace because it's one of the first things I hardcore studied, like broke down like flashcards and everything to make sure I could have that down. It's still hard. I can do the basics. If you just have me take off, land, the whole deal, and talk with them and nothing abnormal occurs, great. But things always are going weird at Raleigh, so they'll just, it's so crazy, and they talk so fast. And when you ask them to repeat, you can hear it in their voice. Oh, they're so upset. Like, I asked for, they told me to head, they were like, blah, 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 heading 170. And I was like, blah, 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 heading 290. I have no idea why I said 290. And they were said, heading 170. And I was like, heading 170, 205 Bravo Lima, and just like got off as soon as I could. Because I felt so bad. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. It's hard. You speak so fast. So, it's such a weird aspect of the industry. So, but anyways, comms are actually one of my strengths. My weaknesses, I get task saturated quick. And this is so hard to explain, guys. I can't... Not even Basic did this for me. Basic was chaos, but it was like a mixture of like physical, mental, emotional chaos. Like it was balanced. This is like straight up like mental. I'm tired every time. After had just woken up, taken the flight, flown for 2.5 to 3 hours, land, and I'm tired. It drains you. It is crazy. So I get what they call task saturated, and it's where essentially several things have to occur in one instance. And you're always having to be on top of stuff, right? So, like, for example, taking off, got to talk to tower, let them know that you want to take off. They give you permission to take off. And then you have to make sure that your radio is ready for a departure. So when you leave the airspace, you leave tower and start talking to departure. And then as you're taking off, you have to announce that your engine instruments are green, that your airspeed is alive, and then you got to make sure that you're staying on the line straight while making sure that you're dealing with any crosswinds. And then you're taking off at the right speed. And then when you take off, now you need to be climbing at the right speed. And while you're climbing, you need to get a checklist out and be reviewing that while you're taking off to make sure you're climbing properly. It is, dude, that was the first 500 feet of flying. So I will sometimes get task saturated, and I just lose sight of everything I'm supposed to do. It just gets hard. So, and like, he'll even talk to me. He'll ask me a question, and I won't even hear him. Because your hearing is the first thing that goes when you get task saturated. So, it's hard, man. And actually, today I actually have a talk with myself, and it's about that. So, we actually have a talk with myself segment today. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and then all the V-speeds. So, Matthew here, if you guys see him in the comment, he is the guy that's in my stage of flight. He's going through the same thing I'm going through right now with the same instructor. So, it's crazy. So, and that's what he's saying, explain all V speeds. In the aircraft world, they have like, I don't know how to explain this because they don't really have that in the car industry. But they have like speed limits that you need to consider. So like VR means your rotate speed. That's the speed you're supposed to pull back and start taking off. And then they have like V norm speeds, which that's a blue line thing. They have all these different V speeds. It's crazy, man. I have no idea if my videos will ever portray it, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see here. Oh yeah, because we're talking about peeing. So pee in a bottle, wear diapers. Yeah, I told you I was looking to a catheter. That was something I was genuinely considering. But there isn't any good catheters out there. Not that you would risk potentially leaking, so it's not worth it. I was going to consider that. I was literally going to consider getting a catheter. Whatever, man. It cost me. Every time I land to pee, the hours are racking up. It can get expensive pretty quick. So, it'll become second nature soon. Can't wait for that. So, which I'll talk about that in my talk with myself segment. I was kidding. I'm not going to really talk about V-speeds. That would bore all of you guys. You're running out of time. Haha. Okay. What time is it? It's 7:30. I need to answer some questions, guys, and get to my segment. Hold on. Let's see if there's any launches happening, and then I'll get into your questions. But yeah, so tomorrow I'm flying, and I get to learn emergency procedures. So I learn what happens if the engine fails, and I'm learning about what happens if smoke appears and fire. It's going to be kind of crazy. Not doing diapers. I can't sit in my own stuff, man. It's just not going to be worth it. I'd rather pay to land and go and have to pee than do that. Not worth it. Astra, Soyuz, Falcon 9, 6 days from now. Let's see. If you guys ever watch me, I'll never probably talk about other rocket launches. They're all the other ones are kind of boring, so. March 7th, and it's still undetermined on its time. So, SpaceX is launching again, because they're launching. Oh yeah, and I talked about that on my Instagram stories. What's crazy is that they're launching 35 Falcon 9s before the end of this year. That they launched like 12 rockets total last year. Somewhere in that range. I could have had that number wrong. But 35 Falcon 9s and 3 Falcon Heavies. Falcon Heavy was the first rocket launch I ever watched, and man, that was amazing. And Falcon Heavy's the one that's 3 boosters, and all 3 land. One lands out in the ocean on the ship, and the other 2 land back on land. It's amazing. So, Matthew TikTok. I think that Matthew, I'm pretty sure that's what your thing is, your question's about. So, yeah. 6 days, SpaceX is launching again. Let's get your questions. I should have a song on. No, I don't want to license that. And it is a question from Matthew. What is wrong with eating Tic Tacs like candy? We had this conversation during one of my things. It was during one of our ground lessons. It was me, Matthew, and our instructor. I forget why we were talking about. Oh, because there's something about on the map or something. Eating Tic Tacs like candy. Here's my problem with it. It's almost like people that swallow pills and have a problem with it. Like they just eat pills like it's just like a normal thing. You're doing the same thing. So there's like an addictive property to it of like, yeah, it's like I'm a hardcore druggie. I feel like I'm way off base with this right now. And they're not meant to be eaten like candy. They are mints. They were meant for bad breath. That was their purpose. So that's my problem. What else we got? What's something you found to be interesting while flying? How much I didn't expect to suck at it. I didn't think I'd be this bad. Like, I'm not like bad. Like, I'm okay with where I'm at. But it's one of those things where it's like, I'm mad I'm not like at Maverick's level yet. So yeah. Oh, and plus how hard it is to see aircraft up there. That's a thing. What does your average day look like in flight school? I think I kind of mentioned that earlier, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Wake up, sometimes ridiculously early, because I have an hour commute. So if I have a flight at 7:30, I have to be there at 7 to prep for everything, and my commute is an hour, so that means I have to leave by 6, meaning I need to be up by 5. So, it's crazy. But yeah, so get up. Usually the way this works is I get up, get to the airport, fly for about 2.5, 3 hours, land, eat lunch, go to the training center, study there, and then stay there until usually 4. I have it set where I leave at 4, but sometimes they have these classes that are mandatory that you have to go to, whether they're specific to your training, to your current training or not. Like the last one, we had to learn about human factors, like hazardous attitudes and all this other kind of stuff. So yeah, that was a thing. and then I go home. And I try to work out, and I try to study a little bit more when I get home. So that's a thing. That's an average day at Blue Line. And then you get like a day off. How hard is Blue Line Aviation? It's not easy. One of the instructors at the school used to be an ATP student, and he said that this is fast track. He's like, ATP was hard. He's like, so Blue Line it's definitely hard at Blue Line. But they have, like I said, they're in a high 80 percentile of pass rates. So if you just commit yourself, like truly just immerse yourself in aviation, eat, sleep, breathe, everything aviation, you'll be fine. Gary Vee has this wonderful phrase, and I'm gonna have to cuss here for this. But the whole idea is eat shit for 2 years and eat caviar for the rest, right? There's that's Gary Vee's like huge thing about that. And that's kind of how it is here. It's like, dude, just eat shit for 5.5 months and you get all your ratings and then you're set. And then you become an instructor. And then from there you get to do whatever you need to learn external stuff, outside of what you're having to be trained. So yeah. If you try to join any flight school, just be prepared to immerse yourself. Can you go over your personal schedule? Kind of already did that. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Yep, went over my personal schedule already. Can you take all the writtens prior to starting Blue Line? No. I don't know why. I still haven't really figured this out. But they have reasons for it. I just haven't really been able to determine why. That's one of the big things about a lot of other flight schools that are typically Part 61. That you can take all the writtens before you join. So that's like more stuff you can take off your plate. But you can at Blue Line. You can knock out as much of your private as you possibly can, but you're not allowed to take the private written test until after you've entered. So once again, not sure why, I'm pretty sure that was the last question. Yep, it was. Let's see. Maverick flies by the seats of his pants. He's dangerous. I know. Yes, he is. There's a side of me that there's if you guys watched my Instagram story and it had the, oh my god, I forgot the band name. It's like, do. No, I can't do it. Anyways, I made that song where I pointed up to the plane. That was from a guy, his name is Timmy's Flow, his Instagram account. And he's this pilot like I look up to. He's a Delta pilot, but he does all the stuff that you probably shouldn't post. He's always doing like low pass flyovers and stuff. He's actually in Florida. And he just has like this wild lifestyle as a pilot, and it's so cool. So that's what I look for. And then from Superbad, let's see, Matthew, I'm trying to keep our instructor as anonymous as possible because I don't think he wants to be publicized. So I have a talk with myself. Let me get that set up. And then I'll leave you. If you guys have any questions, ask them while I'm talking with myself. Because it is 7:37. This is going to be one of the longer Fluffernutter lives. Okay. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. What's up, man? Dude, you need to calm down. Like, really? You've been flying, you have, like, maybe around 10 flight hours, and you keep beating yourself up for not flying as good as Maverick. Like, what? Really? Look, man. Even your instructor has told you that you're beating yourself up too much for this. Calm down, man. It's okay. You just started out. You're not supposed to know these things. And think about it. Every time that you get flustered and that you compare yourself to a higher standard, right? It's okay to have a higher standard as a goal set, but not to the point where it interferes with your goals of becoming a quality pilot. Because if you get flustered mid-flight and you're mad, they're not meeting a certain standard, that you're not as good as you want to be, you get distracted. Because now you're looking down on yourself. You start losing confidence, you lose confidence, and now you can't be Maverick, right? Right? I think that's a big thing. So, stop beating yourself up so much, man. It's not worth it. Right? Take it one step at a time. You're a student pilot. And it is hard. Right? Because it's embarrassing. It's vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable position to have a series of failures that you're not used to. Right? Because you come from a lifestyle where you resided in the thing you were really good at. But this is important, right? This is what Jordan Peterson, this is what Gary Vee talks about. It's important to be the weakest link in your group, because then it gives you the chance to grow rather than having to tug everybody else behind you to make sure that you're good. So, remember that's okay. That you're going to be the weakest link right now. That you're going to be vulnerable. You're going to have a series of failures that you're just not used to having to deal with. But it means that there's a part of you that you're developing to become a better person. A better person. Not even just a better pilot, a better person. So remember that. Okay, I love your face. Sorry we haven't talked in a while, I know. I just wasn't in the mood to talk to you. You didn't have much to talk about. I was doing my own thing, okay? Love your face. And maybe we'll talk next week. Right? About the motivation thing? No. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Okay? Alright, I'll see you later. I love you. Okay. Alright, bye. Okay. Love you. Okay, bye. Alright. And I'm back. Sorry, guys. I had to talk with him really quick. Got some stuff going on. You know what I mean? So, what do you guys have while I was gone? Are you coming skydiving with me next time I go when you come visit? What's with Maverick? Nobody even flies F-14s anymore, sadly. And Tommy joined way late. Tommy, you're way late. I'm literally about to end this right now. But Bobby, am I coming skydiving? So, they literally have a fast-track program for skydiving to get all the ratings that you possibly need to fly in all types of conditions. And I kind of want to do that during my instructor phase. So by the time I get to see you, I might have some experience in skydiving. And I'll gladly go to skydiving with you. Whether I have experience or not, I'll gladly go skydiving. So we will see. What's with Maverick? Maverick is the best concept of a pilot that you could possibly be. Not restricted to the rules too much. Still abides by like the surface level rules that are necessary to make sure that everybody stays alive and the mission gets accomplished. But at the same time, he's bending certain aspects of it to really find the true limits of aviation. And that's amazing. And actually, people do fly F-14s. Iran does. Iran has F-14s. And the only reason why I know this is because Top Gun, there's no CG in Top Gun. Right? So there's no made-up graphics. But there's a lot of rumors that the F-14 probably will be, because Iran has it, and Iran doesn't like us. So there's no reason for them to let us borrow their F-14 for a Top Gun movie, which is about American military. So, that's the thing. But yes, Iran still flies them. Say I'm back. Whatever, I was gone. I'm gonna let you know I'm back. Just come back and be like, that's all he talks about? Something like that. I do what I want. Make it awkward. Punishment by the rules for this boring but safe pilot. Whatever, man. That means that's good, because that means that you'll get through flight school exactly in the state that they want you to be in, which is clearly an efficient and effective manner to become a solid pilot. And believe me, I'm right there with you right now. Right now, I just want to know the rules. I'm just mad I can't know the rules and then also find the boundaries to be able to bend and push the limits of aviation. Like, I just want to be there already, so I already feel rushed. That's what he was talking to me about earlier. Yeah. So, alright, you guys, I gotta wrap up here. Let me get the thing, because I got some studying to do. If you guys have anything else left, you're gonna have about 2 minutes. Right? 2 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Oh, Mom, I did get the cake, thank you. Appreciate it, because it was my birthday yesterday. I didn't know it was here because Rob and Ellen actually, they put it in the fridge, and I didn't know because I was gone all yesterday. So, that's a thing. Okay, explain the proper use of the program Shepherd. Start this. It's a supplement program that we don't recommend using. So, thank you. Thank you for the happy birthday. I'm 32 now. I'm 1 year away from being disqualified from being an Air Force fighter pilot. I'm not going to be an Air Force fighter pilot. That's the thing. If you guys have anything, you have what? 1 minute and 30 seconds left. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? You guys. You guys. Hurry up. What are you going to do? You gotta ask me questions, man. Thanks, Matthew. Again. I assume you're the one that told our instructor. Because he just randomly texted me that while he was with you, so I'd assume. By the way, Matthew, just so you know, we refer to him as Instructor X. We never say his name. Instructor X. The one who's developing Matthew and Andy into the pilots that the future will behold. Oh. Can't wait to have to license this song again. Love your faces, guys. Once again, this will probably happen on Saturdays from now on. Saturdays at 7 p.m. Keep an eye on my Instagram. All you new followers that watch this. Instructor X is our instructor. My instructor and Matthew's instructor. He's the same guy. So, go here. Watch my Instagram stories. If you want to see what I'm going through at Blue Line, I'm posting on Instagram stories all the time. So, you can see that. Kind of semi-live. 24-hour live. Okay? Okay. Alright. Love your face. Okay, bye.